Dr. Trish Leigh. I want to share a study on stuttering and how neurofeedback can help improve the underlying brain pattern that causes stuttering. So many people don't understand that stuttering specifically, but speech and language issues are actually neurological issues impacting the brain. So at the root of stuttering is a brain performance pattern that's causing the hiccups, if you will, from the brain to motor production of the mouth. And many people don't know, I started as a speech language pathologist, and I'm actually still licensed and certified. So I've been in the realm of stuttering for a very long time. But let me tell you what the brain pattern looks like. And this graph of the brain pattern in front of me and you is from this research study that shows that there's QEEG markers, brain map markers for the stuttering pattern. Basically, what you can see here is this is delta. Delta is extra slow brain speed, as I always call it. And if you don't know about the brain speeds, you can watch some of my other videos on YouTube where I explain how the brain works and how speeds are used. But basically, delta, 1, 2, and 3 hertz is extra slow brain speed that should really only be being used during sleep. When someone suffers from stuttering, this extra slow sleep mode is on very high. And you can see here the red means it's 3 levels too high, being used in the front lobe of the brain, especially this area in the right frontal lobe. So what's happening is the brain's using much too much extra slow sleep mode. So when it is firing in the brain to create the motor commands for the idea that the person has, and then they want to communicate, because it's sleepy, basically, that motor command and that neural sequence is firing much too slowly for it to happen well. And the way I always talk about it is that the brain can't process in real time when it's being dragged down by sleep mode. Now you can read in this blurb here, I'll read it to you. The results of QEEG analysis revealed increased slow wave, especially delta activity, both of the recordings from resting state and hyperventilation in the children with stuttering compared to the controls. These observations were supported by decreased alpha and beta activity, all of the brain recordings, especially right frontal and bitemporal over the ears regions. Our results suggested a possible role of right frontal dysfunction during rest and bifrontal neuronal dysfunction during hyperventilation. That's when hyperventilation is putting the brain in a more taxed state. Now, let me tell you the piece about alpha and beta. So what this means is not only is the brain using much too much extra slow sleep mode, it's not using enough of that perfect processing speed in the middle for calm focus. Now, I always talk about alpha as that medium speed for calm. Low beta is a little bit faster for focus. So if your brain is using much too much sleep mode and not enough calm focus mode, what happens is the hiccups in speech production for these particular areas. Okay, I hope that helps you understand the brain pattern that underlies stuttering and the implications for neurofeedback to help. So let me just tell you quickly how neurofeedback can help. When you use our Brain Shift program at Leigh Brain Spine, or my coaching program at Dr.TrishLeigh.com. And for stuttering, honestly, it's more Leigh Brain Spine issue. Because what happens is you can use our home neurofeedback system or come into our office. And when you are using our neurofeedback system, we will set it to decrease delta in the proper areas, if that's what it shows. I'll tell you that in a second, but we'll set it to decrease delta and to increase alpha and low beta. Now, we always use these scientific studies to kind of guide our thinking, but we always do a brain map assessment first to see if your brain is using the scientifically supported pattern. And most times it is. So there's a pattern for all of the challenges that we treat. So we know that's our guiding post, but we do an assessment on your brain in particular. And then, of course, there's nuances for people. And then we will set the neurofeedback system to do exactly what your brain needs to decrease the slowing and to increase perfect processing speed in the middle. It's always based upon your brain map assessment. But it's scientifically measured. We measure it at the outset, and then we can see if your brain is performing better in these parameters within every session and across sessions. And we share that with you. In the office, my husband, Dr. Cosmas Leigh, will show you your graphs, the trend screens that we look at for all of your sessions. You're always looking at the data with us. I do neuro coaching via Zoom, and I guide people through understanding their graphs. And education's my favorite thing in the world, is to teach you all of this stuff. So I make sure you understand your graphs, what they mean for you, and how that plays out in your behaviors. And for stuttering, obviously, a decrease in stuttering and an improvement in speech is the main thing that we're looking for. But because of all of my experience as a certified brain health coach, obviously in this case as a speech language pathologist, and my other credentials, which there's varied in many, I'm able to tell you other things that you can do in your life, very subtle changes that we can start using both ways of the street, as I call it, to improve your brain performance pattern in the end. So hopefully this helps you understand how we can help you using neurofeedback to decrease stuttering, start using beautiful fluent speech, which will be a game changer in the quality of your life. And if you're interested, email me at info@Dr.Trish Leigh. I can tell you stories of people who came in as severe stutterers. I know that's not politically correct, but people with severe stuttering issues. And one little kiddo, this is just a quick story. One little kiddo came in, has had very bad stuttering at the beginning of summer. By the end of summer, he was fluent. And his grandma was in the office in the waiting room in tears because she thought he would never be able to speak fluently. Totally awesome stories. And we've done that for adults also. Okay, so give me an email, or you can call our office at Leigh Brain Spine if you'd like more information. But I hope that you can understand this is a neurological issue. This isn't just a speech issue. It's neurological. Okay, now remember, control your brain or it'll control you.